These are images from the Apollo 15, which is highlighted down the bottom. Google Moon images. These are photographs from the rover and the view from Hadley Ryle with 2 L's. I've just zoomed into these areas, obviously in the far distance, and the rumor was constantly that every landing was observed and also followed from Earth with a UFO, and the astronauts didn't like to talk about this, except Buzz Aldrin and Edgar Mitchell are the ones that have started to talk. Okay, let's zoom in. Let's see what we've got. I don't think these are artifacts on the photos. Now, the actual lenses and the photos were cleaned. On Earth, there was no dust or hair particles on there. What we see here is a round object, and there's one other round one as well, right there. I don't think it's an artifact. We got something that looks more like a cylinder UFO here, right there. And we'll zoom into one other spot. So this is the actual photograph itself, and it's actually called the view from the Hadley rover. So again, it's typical of all the other images, except here we have a lot more of these ones. I'll just focus in on the other one. So again, by just using my instincts from previous thousands of images and moon structures on the far side, we zoom in here, and there's that round object again. There's another one similar right there. I don't think it's an artifact. Now you'll see on here where we are, so I'll just highlight that. Now I can actually zoom out, and you'll see here the actual rover itself with the astronaut. So there's two views. Either these are real images, or they're actually taken in Nevada and they're just placed on there and it's all set up, which I don't believe. So again, if we find these UFOs there, it's more likely they are UFOs rather than artifacts. And what we have here, these could be stars. So basically we see these little balls there, which more likely are stars that are caught. So I'll zoom in on that area again. There's one there, so they're more likely to be stars. We've got something there, but we can't actually zoom in on that one. And then we go, as we just go over, there's one there as well. It's very light and white, so I assume these would be just stars. Until we come into this area here, there's a lot more. 1, 2, 3, and that we can't zoom in anymore. 1, 2, then all of a sudden this pops up. This does not look like your normal star. Right there, we can't enlarge that more unless we have a way to actually enlarge that. Photoshop and just enlarge the image. And here's the round UFO there. That looks like a star there, another one back there. These ones look like stars. Those two there, 4, 5. This thing here is a little bit too bright. I'm not sure. We can't zoom in more, unfortunately. Right there. But obviously there's one there. One there. Not sure what that is there. So this one has a lot more than the others. So you've got 1 or 2 there. And then we come close to that shot right there, it would be, where we see that round one. There's a pretty bright one there. And there it is. That is very round, and that does not look obviously like a star. So the rumor was they were constantly looked at, and the other image I'll just throw in is the Apollo 16 one, where it looks like a remote viewing camera UFO. It was actually following Edgar Mitchell. There's a separate YouTube series on that one, and then the talks of Edgar Mitchell, but I'll just zoom in on that right now and show you this other artifact. This one can be seen by clicking Apollo 14, and it's actually this one here, Mitchell, and the view from station B. So we just click in onto that, So that's how easy it is to find these. They're all documented. They're not actually someone playing around with images and using Photoshop. So obviously many of these things I don't believe, because it could be someone just putting these things on to get more views on YouTube. And I found out that if you get more views, YouTube does actually have an agreement to pay you, so that way they get advertising money, so you share that with them. That's why it's hard to believe quite a few of these. So this actually can be, all things I do are real images. So here we go, and guess what? It looks like a remote viewing camera that's just very far in a distance discreetly, and it's actually watching the astronauts. There it is. And I'll quickly zoom in on one other one as well. This is the image of the annotated landing site, Apollo 16, and as we just zoom in quickly around near this stone mountain, I'm not sure what we have here. So if it is a UFO hiding behind the mountains, or is it just part of a film set? So we have to have these two radical views of what's happening. Here it is. So is that part of a UFO just hiding behind the mountains, viewing them? We've got a very pronounced rod. I don't think we can use the ruler on this one. Or can we? No, we can't. I'll just pause it and go back. Yeah, there they are. So I'm not sure what to make of these ones either. I can't zoom in anymore. That's obviously something black with a very bright red top. And that's a pronounced white rod. And these are very far on the horizon. This is, as you see, highlight Apollo 16, Shadow Rock and Smoky Mountain. What we see here on the horizon, we can't zoom in more. It looks to be circular like those other UFOs. It's right there. It's not a star because it's more, as you zoom in, it's more like an ellipsoid circular shape. And that's it there. So you can see where we are here on the picture. This is Apollo 16, Young, the rover, and the view from Station 9. You just Google it on that. And this one's a little bit too easy to spot. I don't know why it's that easy. So as I zoom in, there it is. It's very brightly lit. Obviously that brightness is the sunlight, and there it is. I don't think it's an artifact either. It just sits there, very brightly lit. But it doesn't look like any UFO that I've seen. It's not circular or cylinder. So there it is. And what we have on the other side here, which is zoom in, that's a bit too bright for a star. Especially seems as though it's reflecting the sunlight from the very bright sun. We've just zoomed into that spot. As you can see, a little box. We've got 3 there. Could be stars, but a little bit bright. It seems as though they're reflecting the actual sunlight. Not sure about that one. Can't say one way or the other. This is part of the series, the view from next to Wreck Crater, Apollo 16. And we'll just see where we are. So on this image here, you'll see right at the top, far left. Now, using the highest magnification, we do come to what looks like stars there too, and then guess what? This doesn't seem to be a star, and it's an object pretty far away, right there. So obviously these are not that easy to see on the original photos. Actually, you wouldn't even pick that up without very high magnification. Oopsie, just as I'm going through that image, and you see where we are here with the box, look what I find on the landscape. It looks like a curved structure. Obviously it could be unnatural, we can't say things, but that's very unusual, that one there. Look at it, and that's pretty far away. So if we actually zoom back, barely observable there on the horizon. So just look at that. That's interesting. Look at that curved shape. These are images from the view from Station 6, Apollo 16. We'll see where we are here by the box right at the top left. Somehow, as I zoom in, you got the what looks like stars there. We've got this structure here. It's a little bit too much of a cylinder to be a star, but again, I can't zoom in on that one more. This one's fairly bright. We can see where we are there. Could be a star, could be a Venus, but somehow, from my previous experience, that could be like a UFO orb, the round ones. A little bit too bright, or could be a very bright Saturn or Venus or something. Not sure. On this shot here, We're right on that horizon spot there. There's something there, but again, doesn't look like a star. But that's all we have. This is Apollo 15 view from the Genesis rock. We've got something very large here. You can just see it formed of various bright things. And there it is. I don't know what to make of that one. It doesn't look like any clusters of stars that I know. It just seems like a weird object. There it is. Now, this is very rich in UFOs in the horizon, so anything that's bright that sticks out, we'll just zoom in. Obviously that could be just a star system. This one here, no, because it's not just round, it's more tubular cylinder. But nothing we can really say is that a definite until we come over to this side here. You'll see one down the bottom there. Could be UFO orb, or just could be a bright planet, Saturn, Venus. Still nothing we can sort of say yes or no until obviously I don't want to comment on these. These could be just reflections of the sunlight. Some people call them UFOs. They wouldn't be that obvious. So I refuse to comment on those. Here we go. Right there. Somehow a star wouldn't present like that. So it seems to be more of a cylinder type of UFO. We've got two stars down there. 1, 2, 3. But that one sticks out for sure. And again, the rumor was they were constantly being observed and followed. And as we just go further down, we'll use very high zoom on this one. It doesn't look round. It looks more of a tubular cylinder shape, triangular shapes. And that's sort of it for the... here we go, another one. Interesting. Doesn't look like anything like a star or any other pattern. There it is there. This one is more of a zigzag UFO right there. Something like this was seen during one of the space shuttle flights. It just resembles a coiled UFO. So there it is there. Funny we should see that. So that's very easy to see. Obviously it's not a star. And it can't be just always an aberration on the screen or a piece of hair or something. So yeah, that one's for real. Looks very good. Nothing there. We've got something here as well. It's popping up, but there's a few of them, so I'm not sure what to make out of them. These are these cylinder or rod UFOs. There's one there. Or because there's a few, could that be the actual shaking of the camera produced that artifact there? I don't know about that one. Yeah, so maybe, maybe not. Don't know, but could that be a... If that one there is round and that one's not next to it, that can't be just that was shook accidentally and that one wasn't. So I'm pretty convinced that one there is. This is the view from near Cone Crater, Apollo 14. I don't know what that weird structure is there. There's no shadow. It looks as though it's actually... Yeah, I don't know. Is that a type of UFO camera or what? I'm really so unsure about that thing there. It just doesn't look like a rock. That little box on top shows you where we are, so we're actually near the module. So there it is, it's right there. It seems to be on the actual soil. Could it be something the astronauts dropped? I don't know. Any comments from anyone? This is Apollo 12 view from the lunar module. There's a very large crater next to it, but actually as we zoom into that crater, seems to be something there, right there. It's very bright. Again, it could be just part of the wall surface, but there it is. I think it's part of the wall reflecting. Same image on the horizon. We've got a blue UFO, so it can't be a star. That's blue. So I think that's a definite UFO being blue. Interesting. There it is.